A very good afternoon once again. Thank you so much for allowing us in your lunchtime space. My name is Patricia Lukoma, and I'm proud to say it is the 3rd of November 2022. Welcome to our lunchtime news. Now, straight away into Parliament, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, has appealed to the European Union MPs and convened in the capital city, Maputo, in Mozambique, to consider revisiting their earlier decision stopping Uganda and Tanzania from building the East African crude oil pipeline running from the Albertine Graben in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania, citing environmental disasters.
Speaking during the second joint review meeting for the Sustainable Urbanization and Housing Program 2022 at Speak Resort Munyonyo, Kampala, Vice President Major Retired Jessica Lupo said that in order for the country to develop, there is need for proper physical planning. She noted that with Uganda's increasing urban population and urbanization, it is anticipated that Uganda will be among the most urbanized countries in Africa by 2050.
Based on this year's program review theme, which is leveraging urbanization and housing for socio-economic transformation, I would like to implore all of you stakeholders to recognize the fact that all Ugandans deserve decent housing. In urban areas, electricity, roads, railways, etc. and other service delivery infrastructure that lower the cost of doing business are key drivers in industrialization and job creation. A clear manifestation that decent housing and sustainable urbanization has a very direct impact to socio-economic transformation of our country. I am therefore challenging the program working group to ensure that whatever is highlighted in the said national document is implemented expeditiously. And with these few remarks, I take this singular honor and privilege to officially declare this one-day joint review meeting 2022 for the Sustainable Urbanization and Housing Program officially opened. And I have said all this for God and my country.
Thank you so much.
Lands Minister Judith Nabakova said that there is a large shortage of approximately 2.4 million housing units in the country. She attributed the shortage to overcrowding, substandard structures, rapid population growth, high cost of building materials, high interest rates, and stringent terms that do not support mortgage financing.
During the high-level consultative NDP3 midterm review meeting organized by the National Planning Authority in July 2022, a case was made for the transfer of land management sub-program from natural resources to sustainable urbanization and housing program to attract and utilize synergies therein. In the implementation of the PDM, land, housing, and urbanization are key resources.
The outcomes from the review shall lead to the implementation of policies, laws, regulations, and interventions that will promote the transformation of our country to a middle-income society. Etole Ed Akenjol, UBC News.
And of course, we do apologize. Of course, that wasn't the Deputy Speaker's story on oil. It was rather the Vice President, Jessica Alupo, that is Major Retired Jessica Alupo, who was trying to reveal that a government through the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development has plans to redevelop slums and informal settlements in a bid to transform the informal settlement into well-designed unplanned human settlements. Now into the story of the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, has appealed to the European Union members of Parliament that convened in the capital city, Maputo, Mozambique, to consider revisiting their earlier decision stopping Uganda and Tanzania from building the East African crude oil pipeline running from the Albertine Graben in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania.
Tayebwa, who is leading Uganda's delegation to Maputo City in Mozambique, told the Pan-African Parliament Assembly that the EU resolution on the East African crude oil pipeline was a unilateral decision taken without consulting the governments of Uganda and Tanzania. He noted that the decision was premised on wrong facts.
President, we are doing badly as a country. The largest emissions of gas we are having as a country is from deforestation and charcoal. And we are saying allow us to develop our gas sector, oil and gas sector, so that we can finance our renewable energy project. We are going to do it sustainably and responsibly.
Our coal and our oil has less carbon. Now today Germany is opening its doors again for coal. They're going to damage more environment, and the recipient of this damage is ACP countries. It is very surprising, Chair, to see that the motions which our partners are bringing to this August House are always policing our countries and not policing themselves.
Tayebwa told the Assembly that Uganda will develop the project responsibly with all scientific measures taken into consideration to ensure that the project does not affect the environment.
The studies show most of the oil projects, they release 80 kilograms of oxygen of carbon dioxide per barrel. The one of Uganda is going to be releasing only 10 kilos of carbon dioxide per barrel. So we are saying support us so that we as a country that is developing, you don't put us on the same yardstick as countries that are already doing well.
The EACOP project seeks to make Uganda self-reliant. At the moment, Uganda imports 16% of fuel. However, once the EACOP project starts running, the extracted gas, once processed, will reduce on the use of wood fuel, hence stopping deforestation. In their submission, the EU Parliament pledged to support the green economy, which promotes environmental protection. There is a corporate due diligence on the project to mitigate human and environmental effects.
Now, in a new fossil fuel project, in a time where we really have to cut every emission possible, is just crazy. And I will tell you, this will not create energy sovereignty. The only way is to invest in renewable, decentralized energies. This will create energy sovereignty. But the good part of the message is, you do have all the resources it needs for this green transition. You do have all the minerals. We have to invest in local production of renewable energies. A resolution that clearly stated that we should phase out as soon as possible from every fossil fuel energies, but there was an amendment from Tanzania and Barbados that killed this and watered it down completely.
Tayebwa also spoke strongly on the unfairness to advocate for non-exploitation of the natural resources in ACP countries for their advancement.
Now, the National Information and Registration Authority, NIRA, is to step up presence at the health facilities to ensure children are identified at birth. This, they say, will help establish citizenship at infantry to ensure effective social inclusion and protection in the national service delivery. This was during a national identity advocacy engagement in Arua City Centre at an event organized by the Uganda Parliamentary Forum on Social Protection.
Inadequate funding hampers efforts to strengthen and extend social protection, including information management systems and the national ID. The national ID is the backbone for effective information management in the National Single Registry that WFP is supporting at the Ministry of Gender. When the new social protection strategy reaches Parliament for review, we hope you will pay close attention to these issues to make sure government has a strategy that is fit for purpose and meets the aspirations of its national social protection policy.
We want to expand the scope and coverage of social security across the life cycles. The second one is to strengthen institutional mechanisms and systems for effective delivery of social protection.
So it is your thing. This is everybody's business. Security, civility, and also the government. We should all wake up to this and ensure that people are identified, and then we can easily locate them if they do any criminal acts, if they have to benefit from any social protection aspect, or else we are going to keep having people who cry even when we praise ourselves for delivering to them all these development programs.
Now, government has handed over 11 bodies of students to their relatives after DNA examination, and this was done by the Ministry of Education as it extended government support of 5 million shillings to each family to cater for burial arrangements.
Relatives and staff of Salama School for the Blind have held a funeral service for the students who perished in a fire outbreak where scores were reported dead. A somber mood it was, as relatives viewed the caskets containing the remains of their children. Minister of State for Primary Education, Muriku Kaduchu, has handed over 11 bodies, ably identified and matched with relatives using DNA. Each casket was labeled with the names of the deceased and the relative.
My ministry is to give the support to ensure we bury our learners in a decent manner.
Government has supported every bereaved family with 5 million shillings to support in the burial arrangements.
We put in place emergency fund to restore normality, to restore all the academic environment at the school. And today I am right here, as I've been on Tuesday, to tell you mourners, all what we put in place last Tuesday has really come to completion.
Francis Kinubi, the head teacher of Salama School for the Blind, appreciated the support rendered to them during the trying moment.
N'okugenda ku poliisi okubuulira poliisi n'okuyita Herona Hospital okunona abaana baali bayidde. So abaana ba boda boda mwena we muli bazira.
Francis did not have kind words to those who might have allegedly set the school on fire. They now await police investigation reports over the matter.
Eyakikoze yenna alifa wunuuna era abaana be n'abazzukulu ekikolimo ky'abaana bano bafudde kiri bagoberera paka olunaku lwabwe olusembayo. Nkolimye.
Government has cleared the medication bills, provided basic school requirements, and given 1 million shillings to each of the 16 students who survived the inferno. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
Now, the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Jane Ruth Cheng, visited Mobende new ETU, that is Ebola Treatment Unit, to check the commencement of admissions at the Mobende District Works Department year 5 days later. Minister Dr. Ruth Jane Cheng opened up a new 42-bed Ebola treatment unit. Dr. Ruth Jane Cheng also emphasized people in Mobende and Kasanda to follow the presidential directives in order to fight against virus. She also urged the people in the area and Mobende district to be careful with the virus.
Intensive care unit, not completed. We have one, which is a high dependency unit already complete, but the intensive care is not done. The beauty with this 42-bed facility is that relatives, friends can come and visit the patients. There are high-risk zones and there are what we call green zones, where the family members can come and interact with the patients with a 2-meter distance in between. Obviously, they can't shake hands because the patients will be inside their rooms. Each room is self-contained with its own bathroom and toilet. So the 32 health workers that have already been trained, they will be joined by 50 others tomorrow so that this unit can begin to function. What is extremely important in all this is risk communication for the entire community in Mubende and Kasanda to know that Ebola can be prevented and it can be treated. But most important is to prevent. And if you get into contact with a sick person, know that when you get to the health facility early, you can be treated and you improve.
Now, traffic police will next Monday mount a crackdown operation targeting border motor riders without crash helmets, reflectors, jackets and driving permits, and those without driving mirrors. The much anticipated crackdown operation follows a series of leaked police CCTV video footage showing how over 200 people are often trapped in nasty border accidents, with some dying on spot and many getting hospitalized. Let's hear more in this report.
To our notes that motorcycles have become a menace on the roads. Every time crashes happen on the roads, if there are 5 accidents on the road, 4 of them involve motorcycles. A lot of people are dying on the roads with these motorcycles. So as Traffic Directorate comes up to launch the festive season operations, we are going to start with motorcycles on Monday, 7th November 2022. We are going to target these motorcycle riders mostly on the roads. What are we looking at? Those operating without wearing reflective jackets. In the regulation of the motorcycles, that is 2016, every person riding a motorcycle is supposed to wear a reflective jacket on the road at all times. So we are going to target all those ones that are not wearing reflective jackets. So effective Monday, all motorcycle riders on the road should be wearing reflective jackets. They're also going to target those ones operating without crash helmets. It has come to our attention that people don't want to wear crash helmets. They ride motorcycles without crash helmets. They keep them on their motorcycles. When they see the traffic officers, they wear them. So we are coming up with an operation so that every motorcycle rider is wearing a crash helmet on the road. Then we are also going to target those motorcycle riders that carry more than 1 passenger on the motorcycle. Because according to the regulation 2016 of the motorcycles, every motorcycle rider and the passenger is supposed to wear a crash helmet, a reflective jacket, is supposed to operate with a PSV and insurance of third party, is supposed to be having that jacket on throughout the day. So whoever doesn't have a reflective jacket, whoever is carrying more than 1 person on the motorcycle, that's called period riding. We are going to target them and we are going to arrest them. So by law, you're supposed to carry 1 person on the motorcycle. So effective Monday, we are launching the operation on borders and motorcycles on the roads. So we urge all Ugandans to stand with us, to fight the vice of crashes on the roads with the motorcycles. You've seen the video circulating on social media. It comes from our CCTV footages. You see how motorcycle riders are riding recklessly on the road. They don't respect the traffic lights. They don't obey any traffic sign on the road. They don't comply with any regulation on the road. So we are going to launch an operation on motorcycles effective 7th November 2022 on Monday. So we are passing over the communication earlier so that everyone out there using a motorcycle or operating a border comes up and follows the rules and the regulations on the road. 1, wear a reflective jacket. 2, wear a crash helmet. 3, don't carry more than 1 passenger. 4, make sure you have your permit when riding that motorcycle. So as we launch the operation, we've passed the communication over. We should fight carnage together. As you've watched in that video running around on social media, it has come to our notice that these riders on the roads don't understand any rules on the road. At least the basics. And the basics are going to be taught to them through community policing. Our police officers, the traffic OCs in the areas where they are, they're going to engage border riders in community sensitization programs and do community policing to them, train them in those sessions on how to use the motorcycles. Even the passengers seated on those motorcycles, don't sit and keep quiet. You're being ridden reckless on the road and you're silent and you're quiet. You see, when the crash happens, it does not affect only the rider, it affects everyone seated on that motorcycle, even those ones around where the crash has happened. So we urge everyone using a motorcycle, always pay attention to yourself, take chances. Taking chances is wrong because at the end of the day you may not survive. So all the passengers seated on the motorcycles, make sure you wear your crash helmets, put them on. Riders, wear your crash helmets, put them on. The passengers, pay attention, make sure you're not ridden anyhowly. Talk to the people riding you. At night, wear the reflective jackets, because you've seen people being hit at night in those videos. The vehicles don't see you at night. The reflective jacket helps you to ride at night. Then if you're entering the roundabout, the people in the roundabout have a right of way. Other motorcycle riders are seen phone driving. He has put the phone, the crash helmet. He's speaking on phone, he's riding on the road. Other motorcycles, they've removed all the side mirrors off. How do you operate without a side mirror on the road? Others have removed their number plates. Others, the motorcycles are in a sorrow state. So we urge all road users and the motorcycle riders to pay attention to detail when it comes to road safety, because we are losing a lot of people through crashes of motorcycles. Road safety is everyone's responsibility.
Well, and with that story that cautions us about, following the road rules and, of course, also cautioning our border riders, we take a short break and we return with our business segment. Stay with us.
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about to be baby. I am talking about these small dollars.
Run for babies in the MTN Kampala Marathon on Sunday, 20th November 2022. Dial *165 *77# or use the Momo app to register.
Welcome to Friends Stadium. Everybody's ready. Wait a second, not everybody. Come on, dude, it's the FIFA World Cup. You're going to lose your seat, the ritual seat, the lucky one. Losing more than a seat, your team is going to lose. Where are you, dude? The match is about to start. Your friends won't hold out much longer. Excuse me. Finally, everything is in the right place. Hey, other hand. And you, do you have everything you need to believe?
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone, the most affordable smartphone in Uganda. You get to enjoy free 1 GB for 1 whole year. My Airtel 4G smartphone, your best value for money. Visit the nearest Airtel outlet today and get one at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800-100-066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.
That's right. The Voice is coming to a city near you. From the 21st of October to the 10th of November, you get a chance to showcase your talent. Prepare a 1-minute MP4 video of yourself singing and upload it to thevoice.africa to register. Make sure you have a valid Airtel number, and if you're shortlisted, you will be contacted to come in for the live auditions.
Well, don't just stand there, let's go!
Music your passion, Africa your stage. The Voice Africa, connected by Airtel.
I see a mighty move of the Holy Ghost in Uganda in 2022.
Revival, restoration, reconciliation is here as Uganda celebrates 60 years. This is the year 2022. The revival, restoration, renewal, and a great visitation. You're therefore invited to a great Lord's Visitation Crusade and Fire Conference at Ndegiruboa, NSSF grounds from 30th October to 6th November 2022. The Fire Conference starts at 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. The Great Crusade starts at 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. We have great preachers led by evangelist Randy Roberts, Jennifer Wild, Reverend Dr. Robert Ampere Coffee from Ghana, and many national preachers. Revival is here.
MTN joins the people of Keralur to celebrate the 12th coronation anniversary of the King of Keralur, His Royal Majesty Ubim Philip Raoni III in October. At MTN, we believe that we only succeed if the communities in which we operate succeed. And so, we're happy to join the people and well-wishers of the people of Keralur in promoting social cultural programs of the UBIM.
Walego Mugisa ni UBIMU ku Keralur.
Welcome back to our business desk as we start off with the electric boda. Now, various exhibitors have been showcasing innovations on energy efficiency and e-mobility at the Power Forum 2022 in Kampala. One of the exciting eco-friendly innovations that has attracted the participants' attention is the locally modified and assembled motorcycle, locally by Bodavec International. Our crew had a chat with innovators about the innovations and motivation.
Currently, I'm showcasing my electric bike, which I myself assembled, made in Uganda. The purpose of inventing this technology is, first of all, to save the climate of our country, to save the sound, the noise pollution which is coming from the old vehicles, the old motorcycles and all that. So for me, I modified my own without noise, without taking fuel, without releasing gases which are effective to the atmosphere.
And so how does it work? Because I can see a case here, you still have a tank.
Yeah.
Maybe you can tell me that.
So basically, the tank you're seeing here has no fuel. It is just a design to maintain the shape of the Bajaj. But inbuilt here is the battery, which is made of lithium ion. And this battery, which I designed, it goes for 180 kilometers on a single charge. And a single charge consumes or is equivalent to 4.6 kilowatt hour. So this means on a 4.6 kilowatt hour you can move from here to Masaka and come back up to Rela on 4.6 kilowatt hour. So this motorcycle, it can carry 300 kilograms. That's exclusive of a rider. Doesn't make noise. You don't change pistons, you don't change rings, you don't change carburetors. Instead, you charge using your charger on electricity at your home or on a solar panel. Having got a go-ahead from Bajaj to use its flame, for us we get the lithium ion cells combined together, do the spot welding, we buy the angle bars, the angle lines, we design the battery case, we buy the mild steel OGI sheets, we formulate the battery receiver, we get the DC-DC, the controller, the geared motor, we design the wiring, the 12V and 48V by ourselves. So with a combination of that, we formulate and take the wheels on the road. Basically, that's what I can say.
Do you work with a big team?
Currently, we are not so many.
Now from that amazing innovation into the world of sports, the Lady Rugby Cranes have bowed out of the 2023 Rugby Women's World Cup qualifiers after a humiliating 23-3 loss to the Kenyan Lioness in the Rugby Africa Women's Cup Pool B final. The Kenya donated game had the Lady Rugby Cranes struggle the entire time to take possession, only managing to collect 3 points from a penalty kick. The game was played at Mutesa 2 Stadium in Wankulukuku Tuesday evening.
Uganda lost to Kenya 23-3 in the final Pool B Rugby Africa Women's Cup qualifier game played Tuesday evening at the Mutesa 2 Stadium in Wankulukuku. The Lady Rugby Cranes struggled for ball possession for 90% of the match as Uganda's ball carriers Peace Rekuru and Faith Namuga were not given room to move past the Kenyan strong defense. Uganda also struggled in moving the ball on the pitch, succumbing to multiple tackles that hindered their chances of scoring points. On the other hand, the strong Kenyan Lionesses Knight Otama and Grace Adiambo showed no mercy, endlessly causing trouble to the Ugandan backline and taking every opportunity to make a point. In the first minutes of the second half, Uganda got a glimmer of hope when Charlotte Modola earned the side 3 points from a penalty kick, but the Cranes were so far behind to recover.
20-3, I think we beat ourselves. We did not execute our plan as expected, and I think that is why we lost the game. We did not dominate the collusion like we had anticipated before. We got to the game very late and we're chasing the game from behind. And that is very tough when you're playing someone who is of the same level with you or slightly better than your team. I think they stuck to their territory kicking and we got punished most of that. They were always in our half and I think that's their strength. They went to play that game and then we failed to execute on our strength also.
So whenever we play Uganda, everyone comes with their A game. So we had to come back here to redeem Kenya, having lost, the men having lost in the 7th. So we really owed Uganda a win here. So we're happy. We were clinical in our set pieces. We dominated the first play. We kept possession. We played in the right zones.
This loss means Uganda finishes second in Pool B and does not progress to the next round of the 2023 Rugby Women's World Cup qualifiers.
We'll be playing Tier 2 competition next year, and then we'll build up from there coming after next year. Hopefully we can top that and then get back to the top tier.
Grace Joyce Kemgisa, UBC News.
And that does bring us to the end of our lunchtime news. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Very good afternoon to you.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
MTN joins the people of Kerala to celebrate